Sup world? It's your girl Taj the PR, repping that DMV power, and we're here for an exclusive interview with British American rapper and artist Skandle. What's up, Skandle?
Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm
You
good.
good? You good?
I woke up this morning
You
feeling
right.
blessed.
You looking blessed. I see you over there shining. For real.
I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling okay.
You looking real golden.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You know, it's funny. The theme word in the DMV is shine, and you shining for real.
I'm
swear
trying.
that's the
I'm just trying to keep up. I'm trying to keep up.
Well, Skandle, I can't even, categorize you so much, You're so multifaceted and versatile. So your supporters and fans who are tuned in, and also the new guests, people who haven't heard of you or don't know who you are, who are tuned in through the app, can you please tell them who you are? But you only can do that with about 10 words. Keep it very simple. Who are you?
I am Skandle the Truth, the grime translator, the last of the real. I'm just the bag boy. I'm the bag boy.
You're the bag boy.
I am the bag boy.
Now, one thing that's very noticeable is your accent.
Yes, ma'am.
And you always dripping that swag. Okay, so, tell the people where you get all these sauces from. All these, what is the Skandle dipped in? Because I'm telling you,
there's lots of seasoning involved.
Lots of seasoning.
There's lots of seasoning involved. There's lots of flavors involved.
I mean, you got a little bit of the DMV, a little bit of the British. You got a little bit of, it's so much.
I'm very thankful for what the DMV has taught me. And for anyone outside the DMV, that's DC, Maryland, Virginia, it's the tri-state. That's where I've been for the past 10 years. Before then, I was born in England, the southeast of England, right off the coast in an amazing city called Brighton.
Brighton.
Yeah, and I left right when grime was forming, about 2006, 2007 is when I left, and I brought grime with me, but at the same time,
You brought what with you?
Exactly, I brought grime with me. It's our own category, it's our own music category, and
how do you spell that?
GRIME.
Grime.
It was born in like Brixton, Tottenham, in like the crevices of London, and it kind of just took our culture by storm. It's ours. And it's not over here, but that is more than music to me. It's like a lifestyle. So my goal is to bring that over here. And everyone that's introduced grime to an American, they love it. They just don't really understand it, which is cool.
How would you describe grime?
It's just authentic. Like if you think about when and how hip hop first started, like the hip hop that the older heads
the feel.
Yeah, it was ours. It was something that us as youth understood within ourselves, but the olders weren't really against it. They just didn't really agree with it,
right?
Because it was quote unquote promoting violence. It just gave the roadmen a voice. It gave the bad boys a voice, and I just love it. That's who I am.
Well, take us back, okay? So tell me about your parents. Where are they from? How did you guys come to be?
Both my parents are West African. My dad's Ghanaian. He's from the Kumasi village. And shouts to my Black Star brothers and sisters. And then my mum, she's from Nigeria.
Wow.
She was a little princess in Lagos. So they both met in England.
She was a princess.
Yeah, and still is to this day. Well, she's a queen now.
I can't lie, I've met your mother and she absolutely is. Very classy.
My mother's a boss. That's my best friend. But yeah, both my parents from Africa, they met in England. My dad moved to Brighton when he was 7, taught himself English, started working for one of the big guys around town. So like in England, and that's how he grew up, so it became his city. So like as I grew up, I was always his son. Everyone just looked at me like his son. And I didn't really hop off the porch or find myself till I came to America. So It was like I didn't really experience too much in England. I just grew up there.
So what was it like growing up? You said Southeast.
Yeah.
Was that Southeast London?
Southeast England.
Southeast England.
Off the coast of the country, yeah.
Down by the water.
Yep.
So is that where the money's at? Because when you by the water, that means there's
I could find the money anywhere, but like the way we were raised, we weren't rich, but we didn't have to worry about anything because because of my dad, it was like anywhere we went, everyone knew me. It was nothing but respect. There was more power and respect than anything for us in England.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was like growing up there. It was like I had no choice but to become a boss. Like even the way things turned out while we were there, the things I remember. If there was a local festival, if there was a restaurant, a club, car dealership, anything we could have it. Like it was just out of respect. It was just there, not because we were rich or none of that. It was just the respect level that was earned. We didn't really.
Your dad is very respected.
My dad was a boss. He was a boss.
Wow.
Yeah.
That explains who you are. That is a huge part of who you are.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit more about your mother, and then also how you, more about growing up as a kid in Brighton. What else do you remember?
I just remember see, here's the thing. This is what most people don't know. I was private school till I was 10. I went to the same school as the Prime Minister's kids. I don't know if anyone knows or is familiar with Chris Eubanks, heavyweight boxing champion.
Mm-hmm.
His kids, we grew up together, went to school together. So it was I got a good education. But before I left, it was I didn't know why we left. It was kind of I just got woken up in the middle of the night and we just had to run and we just left. And I knew my dad. My dad was in Germany at the time. So my dad was in Germany. My mum woke me, a younger brother, older brother, woke us all up, and we just literally ran to the airport. I didn't know why, and then all I know is in England, any car we wanted to drive, we was driving it. Anywhere we wanted to eat, we was in there. There was always a table waiting for us. By the time I was 12, 13 in the clubs, just because I show up to the door and they'll just let me and my cousin be DJing or something. So I didn't know about working for anything or it was just there. That's just how I was raised.
You had a lot of privilege.
Yeah, it was
and respect based off your dad.
More so, it was more respect than anything. So when we came to America, I've gone from this lifestyle, 2 cribs, 3 cars, all this shit. We're living is me, my mum, my 2 brothers. We're in one room now. We're in a basement of someone else's house in one room. No car, no job, no nothing. We can't go. No one knows us. All these restaurants, all the.
How old were you?
13.
13.
Yeah, but I think I just turned 13 in my 13th year. Yeah.
So around that 6th, 7th grade age.
Exactly. So I'm asking my mum, I'm like, why are we here? Why are we not at home where our people are?
Have you taken a flight had you when you were younger?
Yeah.
A flight
I
that
traveled
long?
the world, yeah. Before my 10th birthday, I'd been to Africa, 4 different countries in Africa. I've been all over Europe.
Okay. So it wasn't like a big super duper surprise.
No, I just didn't know why. I didn't know why. One minute I'm sleeping, next minute I'm in America on some refugee type shit. I didn't understand it. So I'm asking them why are we living like this? Why are we stuck in this room together? And she didn't really have an answer for me. It's just I just had to figure out myself. And in trying to figure it out, the hotline's blinging.
You're going to answer.
Yeah?
Go ahead.
Tell her I'll call her back. But yeah, it was more so when...
look.
Hello.
Oh, we got a caller.
We've got a caller. How you doing? You're speaking with Skandle and Taj. What's up?
What's up, Skandle and Taj?
What's going on?
What's going on?
Who we speaking to?
You speaking to Big Chipper. What's up, Skandle?
Oh, what's going on, Big Chipper? How you living?
Chilling, man. You know how I do. Just calling in, showing support, seeing what you up to and stuff.
Oh, I'm just talking to the people. I appreciate you showing love.
Alrighty, man.
Thanks for calling in. So, you're in America, you're 13, you're going through puberty,
and
you're confused as I don't know what.
Yeah.
You're not seeing your dad, obviously, anymore. Did you ask her anything about your dad?
I just, from a young age, knew to just trust my mom. Not to question her, and not even wanting to question her.
As a Capricorn, you weren't questioning her?
Oh, I questioned everything but mom. I never had to question my mother about anything. Any decision she made, I knew it was a good decision that was being made. I never questioned it, and I never wanted to question it. But when I came to America at first, right before we left in England, everyone knew that I was Frank's middle son, but I was the good one, the quiet one. Mm-hmm. I was in school, the teachers, he's a lovely boy. You know what I'm saying? We go to the family. Yeah, we go to the family functions. My cheeks getting pinched. I was the good, calm.
Right.
I hadn't hopped off the porch yet. I was just chilling. When we left, girls wasn't a thing. Drinking, drugging, that wasn't a thing. Nothing was a thing. My world was school and my mum at that age until we came to America, and then I started having questions, and with the questions, I don't think I liked the answers I was getting, because why is it that we can't do certain things? Why can't we go shopping this weekend? We don't have any money. We never needed money before.
Right.
Why can't we just go and pull up someone's shop and they just give us what we want? Like, why is this not happening? So then she sat me down one day and she pretty much just told me. She said, look, I wasn't happy with your dad. Your dad he didn't treat me very well. And I asked why. He said, I don't know. He's so angry, he puts his hands on me. So when she told me that, I knew not to ask any more questions. I knew we were running away from something. If that man's that powerful and he's being violent towards, the most important female in my life, you keep your cars, bro.
Right,
keep your city. Keep all that shit.
Right.
Put me in a basement room with my mum. As long as we're safe, I'm chilling. So then that's kind of where the hustling mentality kind of
came in.
Yeah.
Because now you wanted to provide for your mother and give her back everything that y'all left, pretty much.
I had to. And she taught me that, with that move that we made, I think the biggest lesson I learned was self-respect. Because the way she got treated in our city, she was the Don's wife. You know what I'm saying? So it was like she never ever had to question anything or ask for anything. She had everything she needed, everything she wanted. She was the Don's wife. But fuck that. If I'm not getting respected, I will leave.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I have to play this position and it disrespects who I am as a person, I don't want that position.
And see, that is a great example for you when it comes to women,
Any woman that's ever dealt with me, they still love me to this day. If there's a woman that was in my life that doesn't like me right now, she doesn't like how much she loved me.
That's the reason why.
She doesn't like how much she loved me.
It wasn't because you were disrespectful.
Never disrespectful to my women. I think the most disrespectful thing I ever did was in high school. I had 4 girlfriends and I loved them all.
So speaking about girls, have you ever felt like you had to teach a woman to have self-respect, to be more like your mom? Do you ever?
Every woman, well, not so to be like my mom, because I would never look for qualities in a woman that I see in my mom. Like I wouldn't.
What?
Like, did I say that right? I wouldn't look at a woman and try and see my mother's qualities in her. Like I don't, you know how like some people have like them issues where it's like the girls want their dad in their nigga or like, I've never had that issue because I know there's not a woman on this planet that will ever compare to my mom, like period. But every woman I've been with, I had to teach them something about themselves. Like, like I've had to show them a different way because it's like they're only used to one type of man and that's their type.
Right.
You can't find another Skandle. So if they think I'm their type, I'm going to show them why I'm not. I'm going to show them why I'm the best candidate.
Yeah.
And then we're going to fall in love because love's very important. We're going to fall in love in like 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? I'll have 4 girlfriends. I will love them all. And they'll be so mad at how much they love me. There's nothing they can do about it.
Oh, my God. You're so funny. But, having such a strong mother. And then also, tell us more about the area that you moved to in the U.S. Like, what area and then how you felt about that area, because I'm sure you've traveled the U.S. and so different places your mother could have moved you to. So tell me more about where you guys moved.
Yeah, after touring, I definitely came home and I was like, Mom, why did we not move to like Miami or something? Like you picked the most random state. But I love it here. I love the culture. I live in Maryland. Smack in the middle of DC and Baltimore. I don't want to tell you exactly where I'm at because if you go there, you will find me. Like that's my town. You know what I'm saying? But I'm right in the middle of Baltimore and DC. Shouts to the Cruddy Boys and shouts to the Road Runner. Shouts to Yoni Cash. Shouts to all the Baltimore heads, like the real ones, not the Baltimore heads that got the real homies putting them on. Like I'm talking about the real niggas in the city. Like shouts to them because they hold the little piece of that culture. I want to say is dying off, but I'm not from Baltimore, so I don't really want to speak for them. I'm just talking like from the outside looking in. There's such a pure culture in the city of Baltimore, and I feel like the people that keep that culture together are not getting their shine like they're supposed
to. Absolutely not. Yeah. That's always how it works, right?
That's always how it works. But I got a lot of love for Baltimore. Got a lot of love for DC.
So you like the area that you grew up in and you were pretty much raised in? Because from 13 up, you've been in Maryland.
Yeah, I hopped off the porch at like 14. It took me like 6-7 months being in this country to realize that it's nothing but a game. Because like I said...
So what do you mean by hopped off the porch?
When I kind of realized that this is life now, and I came to the conclusion that I wanted better for all of us. It wasn't like oh, I'm doing this for my family. Like, no, I'm doing it because I know I have to. It's not because anyone's telling me to, but it's like I knew that I had to provide, or I had to work towards providing a certain lifestyle for myself and my family. And my older brother was with me, so it's not like I was the man of the house. I was just one of the men in this house.
Right.
You know, my
It's
older brother.
effort.
Exactly. Me and my older brother, we just hit the streets. We just hit the streets when we started hustling. We started hustling hard, and all the money was to come back in the house.
So it's all boys.
3 boys. She got 3 boys. And now she's married. She got 3 more. My mom's got an army behind her. Like, she got soldiers.
That she deserves, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
So when did you realize you had musical talent? Like, was it when you were a kid singing and whistling, or when did it really occur to you, like, hold up, I kind of like music?
I remember watching Space Jam and wanting to ball. Like, that was, I wanted to ball. I wasn't good. I wasn't tall. No niggas in my family was hooping, but we had a beach, and there was a court there, and Space Jam was lit. So at first, I just wanted to hoop. The music didn't come until we got cable.
Really?
And in England, there's a channel called, what was that channel called? This was before Channel U, and if anyone from England is watching this, yeah, shout out to Channel U. This was before MTV Base. In England, it's called MTV Base. That's the MTV Jams, but it's on the Euro waves. I remember watching MTV Base and seeing Jaquan, and Jaquan had a song called Tipsy, right? It was his one hit. He'd go to the front door, and they was like, he's like, well, let me in. He's like, you can't drink without. He's like, I got a fake ID. And I just remember thinking, that's lit. That's bad. So he had the flow. 1, here come the 2 to the 3 to 4. I rewrote it. And
How old were you when you did that?
11.
And that was like your first rap, the first time you...
That was the first time I put pen to paper. I wrote the Jaquan. I rewrote it. I think I started on like 6, 7, just count up. So I rewrote it. I didn't perform it to anyone. I just enjoyed writing it. And then fast forward a couple of years, that's when grime just took over. YouTube just popped up out of nowhere, and then grime took over England.
So you started writing when you were 11, and that was before. It was 2 years before you got here to America.
Yeah.
Okay, so now when did you realize that you could actually become an artist and start recording? When did that phase happen?
When grime picked up, and just a brief history lesson, it started, formed, and became an epidemic the exact same way hip-hop did in New York. So when grime started, it went straight to the youth centers. And then neighborhoods started clicking up immediately. So it was like everyone in the neighborhood would become the clique, and you would go to that youth center, and each clique wouldn't battle each other, but you'd showcase. Like, yo, we got another cooler. Hotline's blinging. Let me do it. Hello, you reached HustleFirm Radios. How can I help you?
You're speaking with Skandle and Taj. What's up?
What's going on, Boy Tone? What's going on, Skandle?
Not much, my friend. How are you, bro?
I'm chilling. How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling blessed. I'm just talking to the people, man. It's been so long. I was ducked off being selfish.
Yeah, we was wondering where you was at, yo.
Chasing that bag. You should have known better.
Should have known. It's only right, man. I'm just wishing you nothing but the best, big bro.
Man, I appreciate that. Bless.
Already, bro. We gonna link when you get back, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, holla at you.
Already.
Yeah, that's lit. So grime it's a culture.
It's a culture.
It's
flat.
a culture.
It's a culture flat. So it was like when it started in the youth centers, right? People would click up. You'd be like 11 deep, but like 5 or 6 front men would be the ones that's always at the youth centers, and you would showcase. Now, the music is 140 BPM. Take garage and drum and bass, push them together, and put it on vinyl decks and spit like a half beat tempo. That's grime. If you can keep up.
Have you recorded a song with grime? Grime feel?
A lot of my music is influenced by grime. A lot of my flow is influenced by grime.
The flow is... Okay, so you're inspired of it. Okay, got it.
Yeah, it's in me. Like, that's me. That's how I developed it. So right when it was picking up, we your clique that you're formed with, we started putting the videos on YouTube. we were getting like 50 to 100,000 real quick. But we didn't know or care about views back then.
Right.
We talking about 2005 and 6. No one gave a fuck about views back then. So we're doing numbers. And I didn't have a rap name yet. I was just first, middle, and last name. Like, I didn't have a rap name yet. But here's the thing. I was Frank's son. I was, at the time, his youngest son. My little brother wasn't born yet. And everyone in my clique was bad road boys. Like, I cannot stress it enough. They were bad men that I was around. And the reason they accepted me is because I'm Frank's son.
Right.
We got you under the wing. You can be...
You the plug, son.
You can be 11, 12 years old around us 16, 17-year-olds, and we got you. Like, we'll protect you. But here's the thing. Put me on the mic. Everyone backed up. So they're thinking, oh, yeah, Frank's son, the green one, the square one. We're just going to put him on the room, make sure he's cool. Give me that mic. Everyone's backing up. You've shook how many men this week? But I'm spitting and you're backing up. And so it was like, that's when I realized, and someone came and was like, yeah, that's a scandal, you know? Like, they didn't, it was like a setup. Like, they didn't expect, they gave me the mic on some, we can't say no to Frank's son. Here's the mic, bro. Here, spit your little bars.
Right.
And I'm spitting 16s, like 32s, killing them. Everyone's backing up like, yo.
And how old were you?
11 maybe, 12, 13-ish. Then, just as it started picking up, everyone in my clique was like, all right, that grime trend was cool. I'm going to go and get this 9 to 5. I'm going to go work for my dad. I'm going to go back to school. By the way, it's bad for image. Can we take these videos down? So everyone took the videos down. You cannot find TMY and Nang Squad. You can't find any videos.
Damn.
Yeah, we had about 500,000 views collectively. We can't find any of them because everyone that was in that clique went on to do other stuff.
Right, grew up, so to speak.
I moved to America, and I'm still fresh off the grime buzz. I didn't want to stop writing it.
Right.
So I'm still writing, and I'm listening to the music. You know, this is when the
American music.
Yeah, I'm listening to trap music now. So I'm listening to Gucci, and I'm listening to Yo Gotti. I think CM2 or CM3. Now he's on CM9. You feel me? I was listening to CM2, and it was like, I'm listening to this music, but the anger hasn't kicked in yet. To me as a person, I'm still what's the word? Naive as to why I'm in America in the first place. I'm still ignorant to the facts. The anger hadn't kicked in yet. But when I asked my mom the question, why are we here? And she told me, I'm running away from your dad because he abused me. I'm running away from your dad because he hit me. That put a whole different sense of respect for myself, my mother. Like, it just changed my mindset. That's when anger kicked in. That's when it was like, all right, well, the life that he was providing for you, me and my brother, we got you. Like, we're going to put this together for you. That's when the hustle kicked in. Then I go back, I start listening to trap music again. It starts making way more sense.
Got it.
It started making way more sense.
It made sense because you had to get it out the mud.
Because it just, I remember listening to trap music for the first time. I'm riding with my brother. We're riding through Baltimore, passing Morgan State University. And he's thinking, yo, we have to drive safe. Because if we get pulled over right now, it's fucking over.
And how old were you?
14, 15, maybe 15 maybe. I'm thinking, yeah. I'm listening to the music. I'm thinking to myself, rah. So I go in the crib, and I put up some instrumentals, and I just start writing how me and my brother feel about shit. And oof, I'll never forget that feeling. I'll never forget that feeling.
All right, let's take this call. You ready?
Hotline bling.
HustleFirm Radio. This is Taj and Skandle. What's up?
Gang, what it do, gang?
What's going on? What's going on?
Big Tay on the mic, you already know.
Oh yeah. That's my brother. That's my brother Tay on the mic right now. That's the first friend in America. That's my blood brother right now.
Wow, what's up, bro?
What it do? Hey, Tosh, play that Gorgeous for me, yo.
You trying to hear that? We definitely gonna play that.
He definitely plays that Gorgeous.
Speaking of which, we're gonna play some music anyway, just to clear the air. But I definitely got Gorgeous coming up.
Need that. You gotta drop that.
That joint is, I know it's bananas.
Tell Skandle stop bluffing and shoot a video today.
I'm telling you. How about everybody who's listening? Make sure you guys go on his page.
Everyone who's heard
blow
Gorgeous.
His ass up.
Everyone who's heard Gorgeous. Yeah, if you listen to this now, message me now. I need to know that you really want this video, because I'm telling you. If,
don't message him. Comment on his
comment,
page.
share it. Let me know. Tag me in anything. Just let me know how bad you want this video. But I'm gonna just give you a little secret. The only reason I ain't shot that video yet, I need the most gorgeous women in the world. I need the most gorgeous whips.
We're going to talk about that.
Shoot that shit.
Amen. Amen.
Don't mind that shit out here.
Thanks for calling in.
Already.
One.
So we are at your phase when you're a teenager and you're just starting to create your music. So what I want to do is talk about the first song that you wrote and actually recorded, and then also play some of your music from that phase in your life. So tell me a little bit more. You're saying you listen to trap music, you're getting the flow, you get some instrumentals, and you start going in.
It just.
And you're in high school, right?
It just felt. I think I was going into the 9th. Well, I think I was in 9th grade at the time. Mm-hmm. For me, it was like I'm emotional. I'm really in touch with my emotions. Mm-hmm. Something I'm passionate about is understanding each and every emotion. Mm-hmm. The emotional connection between me and my headphones when I'm listening to the trap music. Mm-hmm. It isn't because, I wish I was riding around with a Draco like these niggas, or I wish I'm selling. No, it's deeper than that. Anyone who listens to trap music and hears and feels the surface level, you're missing out. You're missing out because there's so much depth behind these soldiers. Mm-hmm. There's so much depth behind these dons that literally will take a handful of dirt and build houses with it. Mm-hmm. There's so much depth. If you listen to the music and all you hear is the lyrics, you're missing out on so much. If you don't take the time to understand your emotions, how can you connect with things that you can't tangibly feel? You see what I'm saying? So I'm listening to it, and I'm feeling different as I'm listening to it. Then I start writing. I'm writing my stories how they write theirs. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm writing my tales the same way they write in theirs. But I'm not putting it out because in my head I'm thinking I'm still that new boy from England. I'm still going through the phase where I have to beat niggas up just so they can stop making fun of my accent.
Right.
I'm still going through the phase where I got to show up at niggas' grandma's house because they not paying me back for the front that they begged me for. Like, I'm still going through the phase of earning my respect because niggas don't know me out here.
Right.
Why would I put out music for them to just immediately judge me? So I'm keeping it to myself. Then the Soulja Boy wave hit. then the Soulja Boy wave hit. Now you got to understand, I'm 20-something. I'm in that generation. I was here for all of it. Once the Soulja Boy wave hit, me and Tay, the one that just made the phone call, we look at each other like, what the fuck? But this shit lit, though. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what? Since everyone's having fun with music now, and they're not riding around mean mugging as they listen to trap, since everyone's having fun right now, I'm gonna have some fun too.
Right.
You feel me? So my man, shouts to DJ K, niggas don't even call him that no more, that's back in the day. Shouts to Munch for Beats. He got me hip to Baltimore club music.
That was my
That's
life.
140 BPM. Sheesh, to me that was grime.
Right.
I'm listening to Baltimore Club. I'm like, yo, this is my shit.
Yes.
So you know what I did? I made a song as a joke. Mm-hmm. I'd been writing some serious shit, songs for my mum, all that. But I made a song as a joke, and it was called Can You Groove? Remember Can You Groove? Bruh, I dropped it on Facebook. It was Baltimore Club, the most basic Baltimore Club structure. Can you groove? Hey, I'm fucking around.
Right.
Everyone ate that song up. I'm calling Tay like, really? They're going to listen to this? Fuck it. Now I've got everyone's attention off this dumb fucking song. My Facebook friends, this is before the business pages. My friends, I had like 800 friends and I got like 5,000 off this song. Mm-hmm. So Taylor, make another one.
And what, you're like 16 here, 17?
16, 15, 16. Mm-hmm. And we having fun. The trap shit's minimal at this point. No one, that's not in the forefront of my life. I'm just still in that like I said, still proving myself.
Right.
When I dropped Can You Groove, I literally formed fans and it fucked my head up. Niggas calling me, like I'm posting a status like, just woke up, about to have breakfast. Bloop. Niggas like, yeah, bro, what you have for breakfast? Yeah, I fuck with you, my nigga. I'm like, what's going on? Off Can You Groove? So I'm like, fuck it. Call my man here, DJ. Shouts to DJ J-Lu. Go online right now. Type in I am DJ J-Lu. He got
I know who he is.
He got millions of followers.
He's over in LA doing big shit.
He's in LA going, but he's killing shit.
We actually had a conversation about you.
If ask DJ J-Lu who was the first mixtape. I was the first mixtape he ever hosted.
Wow.
There's history behind it.
He didn't tell me that. That's amazing.
Of course he's not. He's Hollywood.
J-Lu.
Yeah, he's Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? He performed at Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt pop-up shop and then went to Kevin Durant's house and was spinning for his mum's birthday. He ain't gonna shout Skandle out. You feel me? He ain't shouting Skandle out. But it's cool. That's my nigga. I call him. He always pick up the phone. We recorded my first mixtape in his mother's basement.
Wow.
She'll open the door in between takes and bring us cookies and shit. Like in between us recording, she'd come down, she'd help us. So we started the first mixtape was called Selfish Mode. Mm-hmm. We dropped Selfish Mode.
Who's we?
Me and DJ J-Lu.
Okay.
We dropped Selfish Mode on Dat Piff. That was the only source, or YouTube.
Is it still there?
It should. Yo, if anyone can find the Selfish Mode series, if you can find like Cloud9 and like my first tapes, yo, there are people out there who still have the hard copies. I sold hard copies in high school, so there's people out there that still have them. So when we dropped Selfish Mode, it was all covers, American songs with my grime flow on it. So I'm like, since everyone's paying attention to me, let me tell them who I am. I'm a grime kid. You feel me? I'm that UK kid on US land.
Right.
So listen to the grime. Selfish Mode 1, Selfish Mode 2. We dropped Selfish Mode 3, but I was a different person by the time Selfish Mode 3 came out.
So do you have something? So what do we have a track from you that is in your teenage years?
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that track, how it came about?
Did we pull it off the YouTube?
Yeah, I sent it in.
Cool. Yeah, it's okay. So off this track, keep in mind I formed my fans with Can You Groove, or shall I say I formed my local buzz with Can You Groove. And when I dropped that, it wasn't a serious record. It was a fun record. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to, and then Selfish Mode 1, you know, that was like the Roscoe Dash days. It was fun. It was happy. Mm-hmm. All I was talking about, the only topic of my conversation, Selfish Mode 1, 2, and 3, is how I'm sexier than any other motherfucker on this planet. And how my flow is better than any motherfucker around me. Uh-huh. That's all I had to talk about. As I was living as I was hopping off, like as I was living it, all I wanted to tell you through my music was how my flow was lit. Then 100 Grand formed. 100 Grand was my clique in high school. Like I had the cliques in England.
Were any of them rappers, or everyone was just your team? It was just squad?
It was literally, I went to Oakland Mills High School.
Whoa.
Ooh, I just told niggas where I was at. I went to Oakland Mills High School.
Oakland Mills is known to be one of the most mischievous high schools in that area, in that city.
It was the hood school. It
is the hood school of the city, absolutely.
That's the first time I've ever said that. Every time people say it around town, I don't agree with them because I don't want to glorify the fact that my school was trash. But I fuck Oakland Mills. Oakland Mills was cool. We formed 100 Grand. In the clique, it was just the strongest soldiers in the school. Mm-hmm. Not on no rah-rah shit. I'm talking like power. Like I'm talking about the people you see and you just don't know why, but you respect them. They walked in the room, you've laid eyes on them for the first time ever, and you don't know why. You can't explain why you respect them just because they walk in.
So a bunch of respected teenagers.
That was my team.
That was your team.
Like to be honest, we used to go to house parties. Let's say a boy will call me, yo, I'm throwing a party. We'll go to the house, kick him and his friends out his house, or tell him to go stand outside while we party inside with his girls. Like we ask around.
So y'all was sunning niggas.
We were doing that, and for me, put the anger in, or so I say, take the anger into consideration, take the frustration of being in a new country into consideration, and take into consideration that now everyone, for lack of better words, is on my dick and my head's getting big, right. And I'm a kid, and my older brother's just so busy hustling, he's not really teaching me shit. Like I'm just a loose cannon.
Yeah, and you're a teenager. I mean, these are the years when you're supposed to be crazy, and you were. I was
wilding, and it didn't stop. We made it a thing. Like you can even go on YouTube, type in HUNNIT. 100 Grand. 100 Grand. The 100 Grand video. Like there's 100 Grand TV. I think it was. Like there's videos you'll see us. We would go to a party, and that's our party now. We would tell the boy we don't want beef. But all of you lot standing outside because too many niggas in here. Like that's just how we were.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
After a while, I was gassed. In England, that's what you call it. I was gassed up.
Yeah.
All my niggas is just hyping this dumb shit we're doing. All these females is loving this dumb shit we're doing. Mm-hmm. And Twitter comes out of nowhere, shot straight to 30,000 followers. Like, people are loving this dumb shit we're doing.
Right.
So I'm just adding fuel to the fire. We'll get into it. I dropped a video to the song Purple Hearts. Mm-hmm. Now let me just explain the video and then we can get into the song. The video was me and my niggas calling. Mm-hmm. A girl calls us to tell us her boyfriend got the bag. And we ran up on him and we took the bag. Now, it's a video, yes, and disclaimer, it is not based on a true story, just for my safety. I'll just put that out there. But we put that video together. Literally just like, all right, let's shoot a video called Purple Hearts, talking about how we that shit. What should we do? Let's just hit a lick in the video. No one was doing that at that time. The shit took off, and then I get a call from New York. But I'll save that part for when we talk about New York. But yeah, let's drop Purple Hearts for him. I recorded this when I was 19 years old. I recorded it.
And the video was shot where?
In my town. It was shot outside my house, literally.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Well, my old house.
In Maryland.
Don't you fucking dare. But yeah, it was it's outside my old house, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Lit.
And that's my car, the green car in the video. That was my whip. I was riding around in that hoopty, busting big
Purple
plays.
Hearts. Skandle, Purple Hearts. We're going to tune into that right now.
Sure.
Let's get it.
Basically, he asked me to put these trash bags in the car, in the trunk.
All right, so what was in the bags?
Cleat.
Like, are you... Okay, all right, bet.
My stripes, purple hearts, see the money, came with the scars. I beat the case, I didn't catch a charge. I worked hard, I seen it coming from the start. Seen it coming from the start. I seen it coming from the start. 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 Yeah, I worked hard, I seen it coming from the start. UK kid on US land and I don't care about taxes. Hide the strap where the stash is. Find me where the cash is. All gray tracksuit hoodie up on the move when I used to be trapping. Now I get paid on a daily and I'm keeping up with the fashion. Got the same tactics, same maneuvers. Same team, got the same producer. Different crib cause I paid the movers. Different bitch cause I hate choosers. 100 grand and I mean that shit. Eat, sleep and I bleed that shit. Hard times, yeah I seen that shit. Success and money, I feel that shit. On my stripes, purple hearts, see the money, came with the scars. I beat the case, I didn't catch a charge. I worked hard, I seen it coming from the start. Seen it coming from the start. I seen it coming from the start. 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 Yeah, I worked hard, I seen it coming from the start. Once I said I'd make it big for the music, I've been hustling. Takes money to make money, so I knew I had to do something. Blood, sweat, and tears, nigga, no time for that bluffing. Make my flips like real quick, and if a nigga hates, then I'm busting. When I start something, I finish it. Make a rack, then I'm flipping it. Pull the jack, so I'm sipping it. I struggle, bro, now I'm kicking it. I remember when I used to make my bread from hitting licks. Now I'm doing shows, handling business on my richest shit. On my stripes, purple hearts, see the money, came with the scars. I beat the case, I didn't catch a charge. I worked hard, I seen it coming from the start. Seen it coming from the start. I seen it coming from the start. Seen it coming from the start. Seen it coming from the start. Seen it coming from the start.
Yeah.
Okay. You seen it coming from the start, huh?
That brings back memories, like.
What does that bring back to you specifically?
Like, it's just life back then. And this is gonna sound really cliche to a lot of people, and a lot of people are gonna miss this, but I wasn't awake yet. I hadn't woken up yet when I made that song.
You was a baby. You're just saying you was a baby.
Oh, definitely a grown man. but I just wasn't I was just a loose cannon. All I wanted to do was just prove a point.
So you're saying you was a grown ass man, but you was a baby, like you were still loose. You were still immature.
Okay, how about this? No one could have told me I wasn't a grown man. No one could have told me that I wasn't exactly like.
And why is that? What were you doing back then that made you feel like you were a grown ass man?
And what's crazy is I didn't realize this at the time, but what I was doing was trying to regain the respect for myself that my dad had brought to the family. So it was like I went through a phase, and it came and went very quickly because I proved the point quick. But like kids used to make fun of my accent. Like they used to just
Of course they did.
I could never finish a sentence.
Different. Mm-hmm.
I could never finish a sentence. They would just be mocking me. So girls would tell me, oh no, like don't be ashamed of it. Like it's cute. And guys would tell me, oh you sound crazy. Like it was only a couple. I think it was like 3 people. And Cheese, if you're listening, I ain't gonna say their names, bro. There's 3 people that I had to use as scapegoats to prove this point. You cannot talk about my accent in front of me. You're gonna have to do that elsewhere. Because I said something to someone, and he mocked me back, and You know what I'm saying? We had a physical altercation. 3 physical altercations later, 3 hospital bills later. No one's making fun of my accent no more. At least not to my face. At least not to my face. And then when me and my bro was in the streets, so niggas started trying to play with the money. That wasn't a good idea. Like there's been a couple guys that come downstairs. This is a true story. Someone owed me and my brother money. He woke up that morning, come downstairs to catch me and my bro who's bigger than me. 2 black men in his grandmother's kitchen. His grandmother, bless her, so I think her name was Diane at the time. She was literally making us coffee. So he come downstairs, he woke up, he see the 2 black dudes drinking coffee made by his grandmother. I said, apparently we're staying for dinner unless you got my bread. Ran up the stairs, got my money. Like it's just, all I was doing back then was proving a point.
Right.
You think you can play, I'm going to show you can't. You think shit's sweet, I'm going to show you it's not.
So, you're this guy coming from London, UK, where it's like, Americans, when they think of London, they think of the UK, British, they think that it's more proper, it's more uppity, it's no savagery. It's
no idea.
It's just
not
clean and just, it's like Disney World up there or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, the only glimpse that we really ever got of the UK was the Spice Girls, and that had nothing to do with men. That was straight girls, you know?
And that's cool, but if you want to downplay it due to your ignorance and lack of self-education, because they don't teach culture, there's no culture one-on-one in school.
Right.
That's fine, but just don't bring that around me, because I'm cultured. You feel I know my shit. You can't come around me and tell me one thing, especially if I know it's another. So after I proved that point, 100 grand formed, we running around, shows started hitting kind of, because social media was just picking up kind of. So people hit me up for shows out of state. People hit me up trying to be my manager. At this point, labels were still pretending like they knew what they were doing. So people were telling me they'd introduce me to the labels, and they do this, that, and the third.
And how old are you here?
16, 17.
So you're a junior in high school?
I think it was the 3rd week of my junior year in high school. My mum got married, and the CD that she had made, her wedding playlist, was scratched. It wasn't working. So I ran upstairs to burn another CD, and I incorporated 3 semi-R&B tracks that I made on the CD.
Brilliant.
I swear, when I was doing it, it wasn't for free marketing. It wasn't like, oh, I'm a slip my music in on some slash shit, play at the wedding. That wasn't why. It was because, damn, the CD only has 10 tracks on it. How can I put 3 more like R&B-ish tracks? Well, I got some tracks I'll throw on. Now, this is another fun fact. Conor Maynard, I think he's like 50 million fans deep. He was signed to Republic. That was my boy. He was one of those YouTube celebrities. Oh, hotline
We'll come
blinging.
back to Conor Maynard. Okay.
We got to come back to Conor Maynard. Hotline blinging. Are we on? Hello, HustleFirm Radios. Skandle and Taj speaking. How may I help you?
Honey,
Yeah. What's going on, bro?
what it do? You know who it is?
We live from the 405, baby.
From the 504, ugly.
I'm dyslexic. Cool. Chill out. I'm dyslexic.
Yo, I see that little shout out, bro. Keep doing your thing. What's up, Taj?
What's going on?
This is my voice of reason, Cheese. This is my voice of reason. I call him before I make a move to make sure I'm making the right decision.
What's up, Cheese?
You making the right decisions, bro.
I made so many wrong ones, and you know.
So many wrong ones, but you know.
Yeah, we
What
here.
I tell you last week?
You told me a
Stay
lot
10
last week.
years just for that one, bro. Love you. Stay safe, nigga.
You too, bro. We'll be in New Orleans soon. Tell Currency I said what's up. I'm gonna see him on one of these Wednesdays.
Just at Spitter Shop today.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Lit. That's lit, bro. We'll see you soon. I'll be down there.
All right.
Now let me just say, everyone that's called this station so far, they're not considered fans. They're not considered those my niggas. You know what I'm saying? These are my boys that's calling up. These are someone who, if I don't see them or talk to them for 6 to 9 months out the year, I could call them on that 10-month hours for a favor. It's done. It's done. And they're just calling to show support, and I love it. That's what I do it for. That's why I can't stop even if I wanted to. But back to Connor. Connor's on YouTube, still in England. He's making covers. Pop songs, the Billboard, he's picking them, he's doing covers, and they're doing like millions of views, 100,000 views, 500,000. He's doing numbers. I called him, I was like, bro, I think it's best that we stop making music. He said, why is that? I said, because you're making like Chris Brown covers and Adele covers, and I'm in these streets. Like, I'm going to be bad for your image type shit. He was like, I completely understand. I was like, unless you got like some, I don't know, like there's no trap R&B. He sings. So how can I put you on trap music with me? Right. I'm not going to make kiddie bopper shit. That's not in my heart. So he was like, no, it's cool. He takes off, gets his deal, tours the world. He takes off. I'm so happy for Conor Maynard. When me and him were first doing music, and we was first on YouTube, and people first started calling me, I looked at Tay, I said, yo, everyone's calling me, bro. What should we do? Like, what should we do with this? He was like, yo, let's take 100 grand to the next level. Like, let's go like 50 miles this way and do a show. I was like, don't no one know us that way? How do we know? Let's go find out. We went to road trip. I don't even remember where we were, but we just drove. We got out the car. We meet some girls. They knew us.
How old were you here?
18.
Okay.
18. I think I just turned 18 or about to turn 18. So we meet some, I'm making a really long story short. We meet some girls, fast forward 3 months. I rented out a venue. I bought some flyers. We got in my car and we drove to their area and we walked around and we handed out flyers as I told people who I was as we went to the beach.
What city was it?
I think it was Eastern Shore. Maryland. Eastern Shore, Maryland. It was nothing popping over there. We just drove 3 hours in one direction, got out to see if people knew us. They did, and we capitalized on it.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. Tell us to interrupt. Who's this?
HustleFirm Radio. This is Taj and Skandle. What's good?
Hey.
Hey.
How are you?
What it is, Skandle?
How are you?
Do you know who this is?
You want me to say your name over the AO? Nope, don't know who you are. Nope.
Okay, as long as you know. You know who I'm here with.
I love you too.
We love you. Can you play Gorgeous, please?
We'll play Gorgeous very soon. That's coming.
Hey, Skandle.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey. Can you definitely play Gorgeous, please?
We're going to play Gorgeous real soon. I promise.
All right. Love you.
Love you more.
Bye.
Love it. I love the love. Nothing like it.
So we're in Eastern Shore.
Uh-huh.
We rent the venue. I had to get one of my Caucasian homegirls to get the deed for us for this venue because they wouldn't let a beautiful black man like me in this place. It was a church, I think. I think they host like fundraisers in there.
Hold up, what?
When we went to Eastern Shore. We rented a church.
As a venue?
We rented the church as the venue. Yes.
A church?
It was like, yes. It was like an interfaith center. Like,
oh, like a non-denominational.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
However, there were worshipers there. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Got it.
So at 18, we drove to this random town. We found our fans, and the reason I'm breaking it down like this is because I hope there's some artists. I hope there's some business owners that's listening. This is how you take the initiative. We didn't know what the fuck we were doing.
Right.
But we were doing. You see what I'm saying? Like, we did not stop. We just kept going.
This is what a lot of artists are being taught to do right now. This is what labels are telling managers and artists to do. Exactly what you just did.
Artists today, don't get me started on artists today. They all some bitches. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. But that's neither here nor there. So we get the venue. We do the event. Scandal and the 100 Grand Click live in Eastern Shore. Bing, bing, bing. Like, we dressed this whole thing up.
Oh, of course.
We sold like 500 tickets at $40 a piece. Like, as some kids that don't really know bread like that, like we did good that night.
No way.
This is what I learned though. As I'm on stage with my 100 Grand boys, I'm performing. I'm a performer. Remember I told you I was in private school till I was 10. I was moved here by force. We rebuilt our name from nothing by force. I'm not a hood nigga. I'm not a thug. I ain't from the streets. My boys from Park Heights, I don't use where they are for my stripes. Like, that's them. But as I'm on the stage performing, my boys that's in 100 Grand, we had some people that were affiliated with some organizations, let's just say. And they're stacking. If anyone knows what stacking is, it's when you make gang signs with your fingers. Oh, okay. I'm on stage performing, my niggas behind me stacking to some dudes in the crowd. I know what that means. I'm not gang banger, none of that. I know what that means. My boys are provoking my fans. I have to pick a side right now. I have to tell someone to chill. You see what I'm saying? So I told my boys, cool it. The nigga in front of you just paid for us to be here. We just made money from them niggas in front. Cool it. We go backstage. All my boys infuriated with my decision. Infuriated. For a lack of, like, they pretty much were saying, how could you choose the side of the enemy instead of the side of your family? I said, we are here today to feed the family. What type of profit margin can we receive through beef? I'm trying to break it down to these niggas. What's the point of telling someone that just paid you that he ain't shit via stacking? Why are we doing this? So you know what his response, my boy's response was? When we leave this city and we go back to where we stay, be safe, my nigga. That's what they told me. Now, at the time, like I said, I just come out of my stage of proving myself. You gonna tell me be safe? I'm gonna walk around. No strap, no security. Bam, I'm gonna walk around just to prove a point. You can't tell me I'm always safe. I'm getting my hair cut one day. I'm back. This is like a fucking movie. I'm back on the chair and they shaping up my beard. Out the corner of my eye, I see 4 niggas running. It's after hours. The dude who's cut me owns the barber shop. Shouts to Jay. I tell Jay, yo, I'm leaving. I have a show in the morning. Can you cut me tonight? I'm gonna be in town late. They open the store up at 10:30 for me. I'm leaning back. They shaving my face. He shaved my face. I look out my periphery. I see 4 niggas running. My man in the cut. 4 niggas running. My man jump up, run to the 2 niggas. I jump up, pull the barber sheet off my shirt, and we're full blown scrapping in the barber shop. Full blown scrapping. I don't know who it was, but someone starts letting off shots outside. Someone just bang, bang, bang in the air outside. So the niggas who ran in ran out. So I'm thinking, I don't know if God came down and just started busting off shots because he knew the niggas coming at me with some bitches. But I don't have no security and the guardian angel in the cut. But it's just, they told me be safe and they meant it. They were gunning for me. So I call one of my homies, and I'm not going to say his name because we're not friends at the moment. But I call one of my homies and I say, yo, I'm still down here. I'm still down here on the surface level with these pagans. What can I do to elevate? How can I make it to where I'm so big that these niggas can't touch me? These niggas that I used to call my brothers that are trying to kill me, like, how? What do I need to do? His response was, get the fuck. So I said, all right, I go into high school that Monday.
You were in 11th grade, right? 11th
grade. This was the 3rd week of my junior year. I dropped out. I got on the fucking mega bus and I went to New York.
Wow.
On my fucking Larry Jerry, by myself. I went to New York. And I was staying in interns' basements. Universal Records. There was an entertainment firm, a PR firm. Like, I'm staying in interns' basements at 8. This was my 17. This was the end. Yeah, it was definitely at 17. And I'm learning the music business. See, but this is where shit kind of gets misconstrued. As I'm learning the music business, the business is changing.
There's a transition happening.
They're teaching me how important an A&R is, as social media is killing the title A&R.
Right.
You feel me? So I'm learning. I was the last one to learn the music business before this shit changed.
I believe it. Now, your mom in all this, what was her stance, and how did she feel about you going to New York, and how did she set that up?
Like I said, my mom's a boss. So it was like the way my mother carried the whole process was just different. Like, she ain't carried. Now, granted, her influence was strong enough to the point where even when I was loose, there was still some type of order. You know, people weren't getting killed; they were getting talked to. You know what I'm saying? People weren't getting robbed. I was making negotiations. So shit was just different because of her influence. But as I'm getting in trouble, there was a lot of legal trouble, police coming to the door, random people coming to the door looking for me. She didn't appreciate none of that shit. But when I told her, like, look, I'm going to New York, she said, why? I said, chase this music dream. All right. If you need anything, let me know. No one
Wow.
No one could have, and no one can no one can tell my mom I'm not gonna make it. No one can tell my mom her sons aren't angels. No one can tell her this.
Right.
So
You're right about that.
If there've been situations, I'll call my mum from the jail phone, tell I'm going to church in jail, and she congratulates me. Like she don't. My mum will support anything I do. If I wanted to be homosexual, if I wanted to be a ballerina, if I wanted to be she will support anything I want to do. Real shit.
Wow. I mean, that's what mothers are for, unconditional, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And it's great that you've had that because I'm telling you, not a lot of people have had that. Now, what was the most valuable lesson that you learned in New York? Can you give me, like, the top 2 things that... Because just from our conversations we've had in the past, you've told me about, all the different things that went down. And even having, these people want you to conform to certain standards, industry standards, and they want you to look a certain way, do a certain thing, act a certain way. Everything that is contrary to how a Capricorn works, Yep. Mind you, guys, he's born at the beginning of
January 1st
of the beginning of the year.
The world celebrates my progression through life.
Absolutely.
You feel me?
The world
celebrates
congratulates you through a New Year's Day, right? But so can you give us just your most valuable lessons? Those
most valuable lesson that I learned in New York, and for all my listeners that are listening right now, I'm sipping that Jameson. My friends know I'm onto that Jameson. I'm pouring up that Jameson. Mm-hmm. We you know what I'm saying, we had to retire that Jack Daniels. Too much fighting off the Jack Daniels.
Jameson's good.
We my niggas. We don't sip that Ciroc. That's for them. We don't sip Ciroc.
We don't do that. No. We don't do puffy juice.
No, the most valuable lesson in New York. Now, Taj, you and I have had a different conversation.
Absolutely.
About New York.
Absolutely.
That was in L.A. when we was in the condo.
Absolutely.
When me and Taj was in L.A. in the condo.
In Hollywood and shit.
In Hollywood, North
looking
Hollywood.
Looking at the sign.
Exactly.
Just from the deck, looking at the Hollywood sign.
In the hills, all Jamesoned up, and we was just talking, and I told you, I went to New York to learn the business. Mm-hmm. I was there for a year. I learned the business in 3 months. I spent the rest of the time learning the world, waking the fuck up.
Right.
There are some things that I learned about myself that no one would have ever been able to teach me if I didn't put myself in a position of desperation.
Yeah.
If I didn't put myself in a position where I needed to change, I would have never changed for the better.
Absolutely. I noticed that about you.
When people say I'm
when
woke,
the well runs dry, that's when you finally you will let a situation exist until it's time for it not to. And I put it that way.
Exactly. The people I was staying with, they pretty much taught me, without knowing that this is what they would teach me. They taught me to always pay attention. Always pay attention to what's going on around you. Can't overthink it. There's people saying, "Oh,
it is what it is."
Oh, this is going on because the government trying to distract us. You're so stupid. You don't even know what they're distracting you from. You're just saying it because it sounds right. Pay attention. Oh, this isn't real. It's that. That's as real as it could fucking get.
Right.
But you're just not paying attention. So like what I learned in New York is play the fucking game and pay attention. You just have to play the game and pay attention.
And you don't miss anything anyway. So it was a matter of you taking it in and really analyzing and applying what you needed to apply, right?
Exactly. When I was in New York, and I'll say this now with pride, because I don't feel ashamed of this. I was in New York for my safety because I felt like my niggas was trying to kill me. Like niggas was coming to my house, knocking on the door. They was running up on me in stores and shit, chasing my car and shit. One time I did a show. I come out to show, my car's on bricks, windows smashed to fucking shit.
So you had to get to New York.
I got the fuck. And there's certain people that will never they'll never doubt me for that. But it's cool. And
so you fled the situation, which in my opinion is genius, obviously, because you are something special. But did you ever think to retaliate or to call your older brother?
Of course.
What and what was really your? That's when you called your OG or your friend.
No, that's when I took matters into my own hands. Let's just say like I squashed it before it got out of hand. Before I made a move that just hushed all that rah-rah shit before it got out of hand. Because it was getting there. And the more moves they made, they were comfortable. Like, fuck it, we'll do more next time. We'll do more. So
Right.
I just deaded it nice and early so that no one would get hurt. But that's what I'm talking. But then like after the year in New York, I moved back to Maryland. Deaded 100. I didn't really dead 100 grand. I still had my fans, and they didn't know this shit was going on. So it was like I had an obligation to keep moving with the music. So then I started Cash Cartel. And if anyone, if me saying that just gave anyone who's listening goosebumps, then those are my real supporters, the ones that's really been there. Cash Cartel was very short-lived. I told myself, since we did that in Eastern Shore, let's do that every show. We're doing this. Like, we're not gonna go to Live Nation. We're gonna form the Cash Cartel. Like, I was on some.
It's that simple.
I was on some shit. We formed it. We had hookah bars. We had concert. We were throwing concerts at high schools. We was clothing line. We was doing the most. Then my dad called me.
This is when you were 18.
He said, come home for your 18th birthday.
Right before.
I'm like, all right. At this point, I'm kind of confused. I don't really know how I feel about him.
Because it's been, 5 years almost?
It had been 4.5 years, 5 years before I went back. And all I know is we had to run away from this man because he couldn't stop putting his hands on my mother. Nah, he wants me to come back for my 18th birthday. And in my head, I'm thinking, you know the fuck I am? You know what type of person I created in America? Not yet, Pete. I was like, you know what type of person I created in America? You don't fucking know me, bruh. But you want me to come back for my 18th birthday? Let's go. Let's go. Because you think you're getting your second son, the cool, calm, quiet one. Shit.
I got something to show you.
I flew back, right? Him doing his usual shit, rented out the ground floor of this whole restaurant called the Rock and Roller. If anyone's in Brighton, comment on something, let me know if the Rock and Roller is still there. He invited me to Rock and Roller, kicked everyone out. It's just me, him, and the bartender in this building. We're having a talk one-on-one. He talking, I miss you. Your mum don't let me see you. I just get up and just start wilding, just start screaming at him. Who the fuck is you know what type of... We just going back and forth. We screaming at each other. He's screaming, I'm throwing shit at him, he's throwing shit. We in a restaurant going ballistic, throwing plates at each other, throwing bottles at each other.
It was like a mirror.
That's exactly what it was. So hold on to that. I'm glad you said that. So me and him going in. Then we cried together, and then we hug, and then I forgive him. And I got this tattoo on my arm, like father, like son. Because I never put my hands on a female, but when it comes to passion and what you want and proving your point, he didn't teach me none of this shit that I went. He didn't teach me how to go through none of this shit I went through. It wasn't because of him. My big brother didn't big bro me.
Right. He
was not his brother's keeper.
It was in your blood.
It just
part of your.
I don't know how it happened. But like the position I put myself in, New York taught me a lot about myself. Anything that happened from the moment I landed in America up until when I went to New York and came back, that was like college to me. Like the amount of money that I made and spent on music. How much is a basic college tuition? Like 30, 50 grand? Spent more than that on myself.
100 grand.
For a basic.
Oh, basic? Yeah, I would say 50.
Like a cool, what was it, like a 2-year, what was that, your associates?
Yeah.
It's like 30 grand.
Yeah,
like
30,
50. That's how much I spent on myself. Just on my videos, my studio time. The whole time I was in New York, I did not ask my parents for shit. Like, I did that myself.
Right.
I did it all myself. Then, so when I came back to Maryland, we formed Cash Cartel. Cash Cartel did numbers. Went back to England for my 18th birthday. Was made amends with my dad. Now we finally see eye to eye and we understand each other for the first time in my life.
How long did you stay in England?
2.5 months. And I did 3 shows out there.
You did 3 shows. I was going to ask
10
you.
videos.
What did you? Okay, that's where I was.
10 videos.
10 videos.
When I cannot believe I missed this point out. When I went back, the whole city was on welcome home mode. The whole city was welcome home. It was my birthday. I sent one text out. This is the apartment my dad put me in for the 2 months I'm here. If y'all niggas want to pull up, pull up. The whole apartment building bumping. The whole apartment building was smashed till 7 in the morning. I couldn't believe it. I had a job just out there just cause. You want to work out here? Fuck it, let's go. I don't feel like working no more. All right. I was doing shows, shooting videos.
So why'd you leave?
Because none of that was mine. All of that was because of my dad. When I come back to Colombia...
Look at you and that ego.
Shit. When I come back to Maryland, if I want to hit the clubs, I've been hitting the clubs. 16, 17 in America, I'm buying tables. Shouts to free Fat Trow. Because that nigga introduced me to popping bottles in America. We was in our nigga, you was with me. We was in our bees and we had a table. This nigga grabbed 2 bottles. I'm grabbing 2. Fuck it. He grabbed 2. I'm grabbing 2. This nigga says, fuck, come up here. Come down here, my nigga. He come down. We taking pictures and shit. Like, this is before I knew he was Fat Trow.
Right.
So it was like, all vibes. All this shit I built in America was 100% me. Not because of my mom, not because of my dad, not even because of bro, because of us. Right. Because me and bro type shit. So every time, it's different walking around getting the respect you deserve because you earned it. Right. Versus it being inherited.
And you didn't like that, so that's why you left. But
it's not that I didn't like that. I wasn't comfortable with that.
You weren't comfortable. Yeah. No, I understand that. So you have fans in Brighton and you know, in your native land.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what are you gonna do for your fans up there in the future? I mean, just to shout it out. Like, what is there any thought as to plans? Because that is a whole nother market that Skandle needs to go penetrate.
What I think is funny is sometimes I compare myself to Forrest Gump. If you watch Forrest Gump, that nigga did everything. And he was 100 in everything he did. He wants to play ping pong, champion. He wants to go to war hero. Anything, he an endorsement, Macintosh. Like, anything he want to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything he want to do, he excelled.
Right.
Not only that, there's not a gear in that man's mind to be dishonest. If you pay attention to that movie, he is the most honest soul from start to finish. So I compare myself to Forrest Gump sometimes because there's the depth in my story that a lot of people overlook. Because as honest as I am, I'm not flaunting that. That's not what I want to... I don't want people to judge me based on who I know or where I've been. It's more so who I am and what I've done.
So, okay, you come home. You come home and back to America. That's home, what I'm speaking of. And you're 18 years old.
Yep.
You just left your real home. Okay. Now you're 18. That's a whole nother can of worms. I mean, now you're legal.
Yep.
Now you've got your mojo back. I mean, as far as you got your dad. You've got.
I'm 18 and I own my own production company. I own my own clothing line. Cash Cartel was mine at 18. At 18, wow. I'm hosting events for 21 plus, making bands, and in the streets. Like, it's real life. So, but then what happened was when I came home.
Did you get into trouble when you came home?
When I came home, the person that I started Cash Cartel with attempted to transfer the legal papers over to his name. He also attempted to go to our sponsors and our endorsers and tell them that Skandle had nothing to do with Cash Cartel. It was all him.
So how did you handle that situation?
Side note, he also fucked my bitch. Like, this nigga was going bananas while I was in England. I come back and I lose my shit. I call Tay. I think he was the third person to call. I said, Tay, I'm about to kill this nigga. Because I come home and I'm about to kill him.
Right, your business, your woman, crazy.
He said, without Skandle, what would Cash Cartel have been? I didn't have an answer. So then he said, now that he wants to kick Skandle out, let him. Let Skandle be Skandle without that. So that's what I did. And you know what's crazy? I've been broke bread with that nigga that took all that shit. Been broke bread with him because at one day, there was a point in time where he came to me apologizing because his shit was so fucked up and he didn't know how to build it back up without me. But that's my nigga. He just had a kid and all that. That's my blood brother. We just had to go through that. We had to go through that. Because if I didn't go through that, he wouldn't have had the fire and the motivation to go up.
Right.
He wanted to pass me. And he tried his best. And he keeps elevating in his own life because of that. If it wasn't for that, I would have never experienced fake love. I thought that girl had loved me. I thought he loved me as a brother.
Right.
But they both showed me wrong.
A valuable lesson. And you learned it at a perfect age, 18.
I'm so grateful for that shit. Because when I came home and I found out my company and my girl was gone, I lost my mind.
Now, I know that, as your publicist, I know that you have come into different things. Once you turned 18, do you want to say that you had any regrets coming back to America because of the troubles that you started to face as far as criminal activity? Or, like, how would you say how that came into play?
I never wanted to move back to England. I don't know why, but I feel like I have a goal, and until I achieve it in this country, I'm not going to be satisfied with moving back. I've gone through so much shit in this country where people don't understand why I keep going through it, because life is so easy in England. I don't want that shit. I want...
Not even attracted to you because you're a boss. I mean, just from your aura, you're an initiator, you're a Capricorn, you're born the first of the month. I mean, it's a big deal for who you are. You are an initiator. You're a boss. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you get it from your dad. It's in your blood, too. Yeah. And your mom's a boss, obviously, because some women stay in those kind of situations and just say, fuck it. I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to cook and clean and listen to him, and I'm going to let him whatever. I mean, unfortunately, that's just how some women are. So you come from a bloodline of power. You know what I'm saying? So it's in you. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to get into Gorgeous, because I know the ladies who are listening want to hear it, because all the gorgeous ladies want to hear it. Can you please introduce Gorgeous? And we're going to take a quick little break and come right back.
I moved to L.A. I had a beautiful Blue Nose Pitbull. I had a beautiful 2016 Camaro. I had a beautiful condo in Inglewood. Everything was gorgeous.
And this was last year?
This was last year. When I made this song, my life was literally a movie.
So we're going to talk about how you got to the West Coast as soon as we listen to this song. Okay, yes. That sound good?
Okay, cool. That sounds amazing.
All right, let's play that Gorgeous. Cheers.
Hey. Honey, I'm feeling gorgeous. I ain't need done no warfare, yeah. I've been ducked off trying to get to the money, so my bank looks gorgeous. I spent 5 figures on one vacation, I can afford it. My just bad, spin a grip on bags, and my gorgeous. My swagger's on swole, I'm dripping sauce every time I'm walking. I live in LA downtown with the bros, and the condo's gorgeous. New round here getting straight to the money, got the cartel talking. If a nigga try to pick up where I left off, I'ma have to extort it. I can cash out now, buy a crib in the range, but the range on gorgeous. I'm kick back, get a kickback, big straps, so I'm feeling important. She be feeling for me, she's feeling on me, and the feeling's gorgeous. I got my in a backwood, I'ma need me a torch. Tryna get big high with the guys, I'ma need me a Porsche. They call me Skandle, 100 grand, I'm living gorgeous. Your baby mother's on my arm and she looks gorgeous. I'm known for rapping, flipping packs and whipping Porsches. I'll fly around the country, I may get deported. My ice is flooded and my Sprite is blooded and my whip is gorgeous. I take nice trips and I talk my I'm feeling gorgeous. She be feeling for me, she's feeling on me, and the feeling's gorgeous. If they wanna war, I'll war with them, win it, and I'll make them wanna forfeit. My ice is flooded and my Sprite is blooded and my whip is gorgeous. I take nice trips and I talk my I'm feeling gorgeous. She be feeling for me, she's feeling on me, and the feeling's gorgeous. If they wanna war, I'll war with them, win it, and I'll make them wanna forfeit, yeah. I'll be at the beach next week where the women and the weather is gorgeous. I've got 10 pounds worth of ice on me right now, I'm sourcing. I don't play games, but hand me the sticks, I'll play, won't pause it. I got 20 bands in the crib, 20 more from me, that's ballin'. I got 20 bands in front, 20 bands in work, who's calling? I got 2 phones in my jeans, 2 bands for the jeans, they're boring. 23 years old, 230 cash, I'm scoring. I left those behind, it was broke or no boring. But I keep me a wifey around that's crazy, cakey and gorgeous. I don't trust her worth nothing, that's life, I'ma make it gorgeous. I'ma make 200 this year, bro, shipping these packs and touring. I'ma make 200 this year, bro, shipping these packs and touring. Billie Jean with the steps, how the floor starts glowing every time I'm walking. They sit crisscross applesauce on the floor every time I'm talking. I got my in a backward, I'ma need me a torch. Tryna get big high with the gas, I'ma need me a Porsche. My ice is flooded and my Sprite is blooded and my whip is gorgeous. I take nice trips and I talk my I'm feeling gorgeous. She be feeling for me, she's feeling on me, and the feeling's gorgeous. If they wanna war, I'll war with them, win it, and I'll make them wanna forfeit. My ice is flooded and my Sprite is blooded and my whip is gorgeous. I take nice trips and I talk my I'm feeling gorgeous. She be feeling for me, she's feeling on me, and the feeling's gorgeous. If they wanna war, I'll war with them, win it, and I'll make them wanna forfeit.
Yeah. That is gorgeous. Yes, we're going to be shooting a video to that. Absolutely and positively. We're going to need everything to be gorgeous. I think we're going to either do it in LA or Miami. Probably LA since that
Has to be LA.
It has to be LA because that's what inspired, right?
I live in LA with the bros in the condos, gorgeous.
Now, can you describe LA in 3 words before we get into LA?
I'm feeling gorgeous.
3 words. Like, tell me how
Made
LA
for me.
Made for me.
Made for me.
You know what's funny? I felt that way too. I moved to LA in about 2008 for about 6 months, and it was the time of my life. I totally agree.
Made for me.
So, you know, what we're gonna do is we're gonna backtrack just a little bit before we get to LA.
Yeah.
Okay. So we were just talking about, you know, you were 18. You jumped out there. Okay, now you got your dad. That relationship is very important to your growth and to your comfort and to your just everything, expansion, your confidence.
We're good friends now. We're good friends now.
Exactly.
Yeah. We
You
didn't
know,
talk for
and then you
years.
also see a lot of yourself in him, which is good to, you know, it's good to reflect on what the traits we have from our parents, you know.
Yeah.
So now you're a grown ass man, in my opinion. When you have when your shit is together when it comes to your parents and you understand how certain things work and different levels, you're able to move on. You know what I mean? Without that chip on your shoulder, so to speak. So tell me more about your music experience and your most proud moments in the past, let's say, 5 years or so. Like, bring me up to date. Bring me up to speed with.
Since from Can You Groove up until Cash Cartel, everything was just fluent.
Right.
I dropped the song. The fans were gravitating. I'm that boy from England with a little edge. Like it just wouldn't stop.
Right.
But the real life aspect of me was always still there too. So there's always been troubles in my life. There's always been
a challenge.
There's always been a challenge.
Yes.
So as far as the music, when I came back from England and realized that Cash Cartel, which to me was a milestone, because as a kid that was my first business, and I made bands off my first business. Most grown men don't even do that. So I was proud of that milestone, and it was stolen from me. And then not only did they stole it and they ran it into the ground. So to me it was like I learned through that you have to be about your business.
Right.
If you're not about your business 100%, let's say you're 98% about your business, that nigga next to you that's on 100, he'll take it from you. Like, you have to stay on your shit. And that's what I learned. Never slip, never lack, none of that. Because if you do, someone will take everything you've worked for. So 18, 19, and 20 was based around just the most selfish time period of my life. No girl could penetrate my heart or my soul. No nigga could penetrate my poker face. You see what I'm saying? No business could have negotiated hard enough. I'm not giving no one shit.
Right.
Like, it was such a dark time for me.
Now, speaking of dark, did you, because I know you have a small history, an interesting history of, trouble with the law. Can you tell me how, like, do you feel like the energy, that dark period is what pushed you into
most definitely,
or getting caught up?
No, keep on. I've always been hustling, always
Been hustling.
Shit just got. It just got different as I got older, and then after when I came home from England, and the whole Cash Cartel shit happened, it kind of just triggered something. It kind of just triggered something in my head, and it just made me act different. Because after that, I started getting locked up. I started getting locked up all the time. Started getting running into problems with the police all the time. Police seeing my car and hitting U-turns because they know there's some shit in there. They get some bands or they get some work or I'm always on some shit, like my license might be suspended.
Right.
I was getting locked up like every other month. I'm putting out release dates and being in jail. I was in jail my 21st birthday. I was in jail for my mum's I was in jail for my mum's birthday. I was in jail for my 21st. 3 Christmases, like just and to me, how you a boss if you gotta wait for someone to feed you, someone tell you when you can take a shower? You see what I'm saying? If you're in jail and you the man in jail, you're the man of the bottom of the barrel. You see what I'm saying? Like, you're 23-1. You can't walk around. You're going backwards, bro. You're going backwards. I'm in jail at 21 years old with men at 40. I know I'm getting out worst case scenario a couple years. This nigga never going home because of a mistake he made. So you have to pay attention to the moves you make now because they will affect tomorrow. People say this shit all the time. What you do today is going to affect tomorrow. Every action has a reaction. People say this shit all the time. Don't no one really practice what they preach. So it's like as I'm moving forward in life, shit got real when I came home. My company and my bitch were gone. That's when shit got real for me. Before then, everything was just a joke.
Right.
Everything's just a fucking game. Shit's not a game because someone will run up on you and take your shit.
Right, and your bitch.
And your bitch, like, niggas had to learn that, like, real talk.
Yeah, you know what? And you learned at the perfect age. You know, imagine learning that when you're a little older and a little more, you know, I would say.
No, someone's gonna die if they touch my wife now.
Exactly.
You feel me? Like,
no, I'm telling you, and you have to learn these things.
yeah, there's
like,
a couple niggas hearing that and gulping. Yeah, I'm coming for you, bitch. No,
1,000.
No, but real shit. When shit got real for me, 18, 19, 20, 21, in and out of jail, friends with half a free band gang, friends with niggas like Trell, friends with niggas like the Glizzy gang. Like my network changed because can't no one tell me shit.
Right.
And I was attracting people and energies of other people who also felt like can't no one tell me shit.
Right.
Yeah. So then I meet Tess. Tess, he from Baltimore. He signed the free.
He's the one who signed.
He signed the free band gang. He signed the Futures label. Yeah. I meet him. Right when I met him before I get locked up. He helped me through my time a little bit. Called him a couple times while I was in jail. When I came home, that's when we became close.
And this is your early 20s.
21. I came home at 21 years old. Then so he and I became friends. We in the studio all the time. His work ethic. I remember one time I looked at Taylor, bro, I might have to step up because this nigga is bananas.
All
like,
he does is work.
His
Absolutely.
work ethic was crazy.
Yeah.
That was one of the few people that I would admit to looking up to. You feel me? So with me is when I first started making music with Tess, we weren't in competition with each other, but I felt like we influenced each other. We made each other work harder.
Yeah.
He had a swag that had nothing to do with mine. I had a swag that he couldn't even comprehend. And we wanted to learn from each other.
Right.
We wanted to learn from each other. The difference between he and I is certain things won't make me form an opinion about someone.
Right.
Certain things won't influence my decision. Tess, if you're hearing this, I love you, bro. But I have to keep shit 100. When I first moved out to LA, I told Tess, pull up. I got the studio on Smash. I got the clubs on Smash. He done come out there and all he worried about is one of the bitches that we used to share. Like, to me, it just fucked my head up because it's like, bro, I look up to you.
And you talking about bitches.
You in a position that I've been busting my tail to get in. You're signed to the hottest nigga in the country, and you worried about some bitch that I threw away. Call me about the studio, bro. If you're listening, call me about the studio. Call me about where your heart is. Your heart not with these females, man. But at the time, and he won't admit this, at the time he needed a friend like me. Gio would just go locked up. You see what I'm saying? Like, at this time he needed a friend like me because I wanted nothing from this man. Scroll down my Instagram, you ain't gonna see no pictures of me and Tess. I was with this man, like, yo, we was in the studio, all that.
Right.
But you wanna call me by a female. Why is it you bringing my name up to so-and-so? Bitch, I ain't seen that bitch since before I went home. But that's neither here nor there.
Right. Now Tess, was he the one who brought you to where you performed and opened for his...
Me and my manager at the time, Tony Ha, we threw a party on the 4th of July. Tess hit my phone. Yo, I'm in your hood, like, I'm in your city, like, what's up? Come to the party. He came to the party.
What city was this?
I don't want to say it. You
know,
where I stay at.
In Maryland.
In Maryland. In Maryland where I stay at.
This is in LA. This is Maryland.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. It's not in LA yet.
Right.
So he pull up. It's on some local shit. He pull up to the party. No security, no strap, white tee, no jewelry. Like on some bro shit. He come to the party. The video's up. Go look at the video of Skandle. Anyone. You see Tess in the background rolling a blunt next to the keg at Heineken. Like that was my nigga. So he in the party. I'm shooting a video. This is my town, so everyone in the house is reflecting off my energy. Everyone's gravitating towards what I'm bringing to the table, and he's seeing that. He's used to that being in his environment.
Of course.
So I walk him out at the end of the party. Say, look, I'm gonna call Tracy. If anyone in Baltimore here, I'm gonna call Tracy. I'm going to see if I can get you on the
Icon
show.
Entertainment.
Exactly. Shouts to her. Skandle's
She
still
brings all the celebrities to
pumping.
Baltimore. Yep.
Skandle's still pumping. She thought I'd been stopped. But he told me, he was like, look, Future's coming to town next month. I'm going to see if I can get you on the bill. If you can do that for me, bro, I'll forever feel indebted. Like, please, I greatly appreciate it.
You said that to him?
Of course.
Okay.
Real shit. I said, if you do that, anything you need, like anything you need, I got you. Like on any level. And he know me. So he took that into consideration. He got me on the bill. I tell my fans, yo, opening for Future.
Come through, got the tickets. How many did you sell? 100, 200?
I don't really like to talk about contracts and shit. Like if people ask me, oh, how did you get through the graces of God and hard work? But I'm going to just tell you the facts. They told me, we'll keep you on the bill if you can sell $2,500 worth of tickets. I told her it's only 3 weeks till the show. If you can sell $2,500 worth of tickets, we'll put you on the bill. I sold like 6 bands. 6 bands worth of tickets.
Wow.
Early. He won't admit it. My show was liver than Tess. I had the crowd way liver. He won't admit it. But it's after that show, I opened for Future. Because of the way Future does his shows, I didn't get to meet him. He kicked everyone out the backstage before he pulled up in the Expedition, skirting around the corner and all that. It's whatever. I was not pressed to meet that man until I was pressed to perform for the city, though. Right. Baltimore loved me. The whole venue knew the words to How It Goes. I was so surprised. But they knew. So it's like, I do the show. After the show, that's when all the OGs come to me like, Skandle, we see what you're doing. We see what level you're on. We see where your head's at. You've hit a ceiling now. Just go. Like, you've hit a ceiling. Right. There's not much more you can do.
There's nothing more, yeah. So, now it's go time, right.
So I call you.
And that's when we met.
I called Taj. I say, yo, I'm in L.A. I'm shooting videos in L.A. I'm doing shows in L.A. I'm doing shows in Arizona off the connections I'm meeting in L.A. I'm doing shows in Miami off the connections I made in L.A. I'm living life. I'm making tens of thousands. I'm cool and buying jewelry. I'm in Saks Fifth. They follow me. I'm cashing out, so they popping the champagne for me. Like, this is real life. Right. Pulling up to the farms, copping 30 pounds. Like it's real life. Then Trell come out there, and Taj, you was with me. Trell come to California. And we scheduled the feature for later on that week. We didn't get to do it later on that week because he had to fly back to Maryland and he gets locked up. Yeah. So free Trell.
Free fat Trell. And, you know, it's crazy because, I mean, we just had a whirlwind of events. You're absolutely right. So just in the past year or two, you've been working on a lot of music that's unreleased, correct?
So for the past, I'd say 9 months, I have been battling with myself between living my dream and taking care of real life.
And what? And taking care of what?
Real life.
Real life?
Yeah. Because I've been living my dream for so long. And I feel like...
You need structure?
It's not... See, I don't do it for me. There are so many people who wake up every day and they will grind harder because they see me working. Right. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a science or there's a formula. I don't do it on purpose. Right. But people, they see what I'm doing and they decide to work harder, not against me, but for themselves. Right. Because they know if someone like me can put myself in the position I'm in, I'm not nowhere near where I feel like I need to be. I talk to Tay every day, like, how are we going to make it, bro? Followed by reading messages of people telling me how much my efforts influence their decisions in life. So
you are at a monumental point in your life because, you know, you're still young. You're still, you know, gorgeous.
Yeah, thank you very much. And my wife said the same thing. She said I'm handsome. But she also said her dog handsome. So I don't know. Like,
you know, but you're at a point in your life where you have experienced a lot. I mean, from, like you said, we're starting from the beginning, just from your roots. You know, you come from power. You know, you leave and come to America without your dad. You reconnect with your dad, but you get to experience the single mother household with a house full of boys where, you know, you're exposed to so many different things. I mean, all angles. And then you're in an area in Maryland where it's, I would call it a melting pot, where you're able to experience different cultures. So you're very cultured. You know, the DMV area in certain areas, it can be, you can.
They could have dropped me anywhere in this country. And I know a lot more about America now since I've been here so long. The place where I'm at, considering I